What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the video. And while yes, this is the same exact shirt I was wearing in the last video. But anyway, I've been getting a lot of questions recently about macros, if it fits your macros, and flexible dieting in general. And the questions show me that a lot of people really just have no understanding whatsoever or what flexible dieting really is. And sometimes I realize that I take for granted the fact that I know what it is, and I just kind of assume that everyone else knows as well. Well, that's clearly not the case, and I don't know why I would think that when just several years ago, I was just like those people and I really had no idea what macros were and what flexible dieting is. So, in this video, what I'm going to do, first I'm going to play the intro, then I'm going to move from this couch to the couch over there to switch up the angles a little bit. And then in 5 minutes or less, I'm going to explain what flexible dieting is, and then after that, I will show you some overhead presses. So hopefully that sounds good to you, and let's get to the rest of the video. Alright, so I'm back on this couch, and yes, still wearing the same shirt. So anyway, I'm going to try to explain if it fits your macros, flexible dieting in less than 5 minutes. And when you hear those terms, flexible dieting and if it fits your macros, IIFYM, they all mean the same thing. So don't get confused when you hear people referencing with different terms. Those mean the same thing. So first, what are macros? Macros is short for the term macronutrients, and there are 3 macronutrients, which are protein, carbs, and fat. So those 3 macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fat, are what make up calories. So when you see calorie content of a specific food, those calories are all comprised of those 3 macronutrients. And protein and carbs, they both have 4 calories per gram, and fat has 9 calories per gram. So if you really wanted to figure out the calories of a food, you just add up the protein and carbs, multiply that by 4, then fat, multiply it by 9, and add it together. The only other thing that has calories is alcohol, which is 7 calories per gram, but we're not going to discuss that in this video. So those are what the macronutrients are. And if it fits your macros essentially means that as long as you hit your macronutrient intake for the day, it doesn't matter where those macros necessarily came from in terms of food choice. Now, I'm assuming for this video that you already know what your macros should be. I'm not going to go over how to figure out your macros in this video. That's a completely separate topic. So I'm assuming you already have a specific amount of macros that you are trying to hit each day. So when people hear if it fits your macros, flexible dieting, they think, oh yeah, wow, I don't have to eat chicken and rice. I don't have to eat oatmeal. I can eat Pop-Tarts. I can eat Cheetos. I can eat whatever I want. Not exactly. Let's say, for example, you have 150 carbs to the day and you just ate 2 Pop-Tarts. So you just ate 70 carbs of Pop-Tarts, and now you have 80 carbs for the rest of the day that you need to hit. Keep in mind, you didn't hit any protein or fat, so now you need to hit 80 carbs for the rest of the day, and you still need to hit your protein and fat. So the food you're going to have to eat to hit those numbers are going to be a little bit weird. And also keep in mind, 2 Pop-Tarts are not nearly as filling for those 70 carbs as something else that you could eat with those carbs. I kind of look at macros look at it as money. The smart thing to do with your money is you should save it, you should invest it in smart things, but every once in a while you want to have some fun with the money, you want to travel, maybe you want to buy something like a new pair of shoes, you want to buy a toy for yourself. So that's like macros. Most of the time you should be smart with your macros. You should spend it on like healthier foods like chicken, fruit, vegetables, eggs. But every once in a while that gets a little boring, just spending all your macros on those clean, healthy foods, and you want to have something fun, maybe pizza every once in a while. So what I like to do is follow like what I call an 80-20 rule, where about 80% of the food you eat should be typical healthier foods, your grilled chickens, your broccoli, your vegetables, your rice, but save 20% of it for something that maybe you want to fit in, like a ice cream bar or a Rice Krispie treat or something that you like that isn't the typical healthy food. So the 80-20 rule is what I recommend. And keep in mind, if it fits your macros, this applies to body composition. So if you're going to eat whatever food you eat to hit your macros, it really is not going to matter. Assuming you hit your micronutrient intake, assuming you hit enough fiber, your body is going to make the same gaining weight, losing weight, whatever the food choices you make are. But health and body composition aren't necessarily the same thing. So just because just because you're able to get shredded and gain muscle not eating the healthiest foods, you still might have blood pressure issues, you might still have other health issues, and long term, that eventually might affect your body composition. So I like to follow the 80-20 rule, like I said, and also when you're cutting, if hunger is an issue, you don't want to select foods that have like no volume. So going back to the Pop-Tart example, you don't want to eat Pop-Tarts and waste your carbs on that, because now you didn't really fill yourself up and you just wasted all those macros. So like I said, look at carbs as money, be safe, be smart with your carbs, be smart with your money. And that's If It Fits Your Macros / flexible dieting in a nutshell. So I hope that answered some questions. If you already know everything I said, hopefully you agree with me and now you're more confident in what you're doing. But that's my explanation. If you need anything further, I don't know if I forgot anything, leave a comment below. I'll be happy to address it. And now we are going to get into my overhead presses. So hit that thumbs up if you're enjoying it so far, and see you in the next clip. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the commentary. So I only filmed my overhead presses here, not the rest of the workout, so it's not enough time to talk about a whole new topic. So I thought I would just give some final thoughts on If It Fits Your Macros. And did you guys like that little analogy I had about spending money in macros? I literally thought about that while the camera was on me. I never said that to anyone else before, so I was pretty proud of that little analogy I thought of. But anyway, so the reason the misconception of If It Fits Your Macros, I think, started is because of the people who actually advocate If It Fits Your Macros. So the people who are always getting angry that people think that If It Fits Your Macros means all you do is eat candy and Doritos, those are the people to blame for people actually thinking that. Because when you go on Instagram, when you go on all these social media sites, you don't see the pictures of the oatmeal, you don't see the pictures of the broccoli and chicken. You see the Doritos, you see the Pop-Tarts, you see the ice cream sundaes, you see the cakes. So that gives people who don't know anything about If It Fits Your Macros the idea that these people in the fitness industry are only eating crap. And I mean, it is a weird concept if you know nothing about it. So if you're seeing these fitness people who are shredded eating cake and cookies, obviously you're going to think that that's all they're eating. So yes, it does bother me, and it does bother a lot of people when people get the wrong idea of If It Fits Your Macros, thinking that all we do is eat crap all the time. But the people who get angry about it are the actual ones to blame, because rather than advocate and show that they actually eat mostly healthy foods, all they're doing is showing that they actually eat some crap. And although people are taking it out of context, what do you really expect? If that's all you're showing, then that's what the average person who knows absolutely nothing about flexible dieting is going to believe. So I think the only way to really get people to understand is to actually show the other foods that we eat. And you do see, I put up like 5 or 6 day of eating videos. You see the foods that I eat. If you haven't seen them, you can go back. And I don't eat anything too crazy. You'll see I eat mostly healthy foods, but then I will sprinkle in some treats every once in a while as well that also fit my macros. So that's what I just find a little ironic. The people that get angry about people who don't understand If It Fits Your Macros are the people responsible for really portraying the bad aspects of it. So that was my final thoughts on it. Hope you guys liked the video. If you didn't like the video yet, now's your chance. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed yet, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.